gentle heart can be the strongest shield against the storms of life. Kaelan trudged back to the mansion, the weight of defeat pressing heavily on his shoulders. The ornate wooden doors creaked as he pushed them open, revealing a vast hall adorned with relics of his master's past triumphs. Each gleaming trophy and ancient weapon mocked him, a constant reminder of his failure in the arena. He felt emptiness enveloping him, resonating with the bruises on his body and the scars on his spirit. Hoping for solace, he stepped inside, only to be greeted by the thunderous presence of his master. "Well, look who decided to return," his master boomed, a predatory grin spreading across his face. "Did you enjoy your little adventure?" Before Kaelan could muster a response, his master's hand lashed out, striking him hard across the back. Pain coursed through him, but he fought to suppress the urge to retaliate, his mind screaming, "I need to be strong." His master's laughter echoed through the hall like a jagged knife. "You're a disappointment, Kaelan. You think you can win the next fight? You need to toughen up." With that, he strode away, leaving Kaelan alone to collect himself. Gasping for breath, Kaelan leaned against the cool stone wall, feeling utterly defeated. That's when he caught a glimpse of movement at the edge of the training grounds. A figure stood watching him, her long hair glimmering like spun gold in the sunlight. It was Elara, his master's daughter. Kaelan had seen her around the mansion before, often lingering in the background, an ever-present shadow in his life. But he had never bothered to talk to her. He had always assumed she was just like her father, someone to be avoided. "You're back," Elara said softly, stepping closer, her eyes filled with concern. "I prayed for your victory." Surprised by her sincerity, Kaelan felt a flicker of warmth, but it was quickly extinguished by his frustration. "Thanks, but I don't need your pity," he snapped, his voice sharper than he intended. Elara's expression faltered for a moment, hurt flashing in her eyes. "I'm not pitying you. I just wanted to help," she replied, her voice steady. Kaelan clenched his fists, feeling the bitterness rising within him. "Help? What do you know about struggle? You live in a mansion, sheltered from the real world." He turned away from her, ashamed of his outburst, yet unable to stop the torrent of anger and despair. As he began to walk away, Elara's voice stopped him. "You think you're alone in this? You're not. I've seen what you endure. I want to help you." Her words hung in the air, echoing in his mind. Deep down, he knew she was genuine, but the walls he had built around his heart were high and fortified. "Why would you care?" he muttered, unwilling to face her. "I'm just a slave to your father." "You're more than that," she insisted, taking a step forward. "You have the potential to be something great." His anger began to wane as her sincerity reached him. Kaelan found himself looking at her for the first time, not as the daughter of his master, but as a person with her own feelings and aspirations. "What do you know about me?" he asked, his voice quieter now. "I know you train harder than anyone," she replied earnestly. "I see you out there every day, pushing yourself beyond your limits. That takes strength." A moment of silence passed between them, the tension easing slightly. For the first time, Kaelan felt a flicker of hope. "Maybe I don't want to be great," he admitted, his voice laced with vulnerability. "Maybe I just want to survive." Elara smiled gently. "Then let me help you survive, Kaelan. You don't have to face this alone." Gradually, Kaelan began to let his guard down. He agreed to let her help him with his recovery magic. During their sessions, Elara guided him through gentle stretches and restorative spells, her hands glowing softly as she worked to heal his injuries. "Breathe in and let the energy flow through you," she instructed, her voice a calming melody. Kaelan struggled at first, finding it difficult to focus his mind amidst the chaos of his emotions. "You need to focus as much as your body," she encouraged, her patience unwavering. "Believe in yourself, Kaelan." With her encouragement, Kaelan began to see improvements. Each session left him feeling stronger, more resilient. One day, after a particularly exhausting training routine, he looked at her, the warmth of gratitude swelling in his chest. "You're amazing, Elara. I don't know what I would do without you." "You would find a way, just like you always do," she replied, a twinkle in her eye. "You're destined for greatness." In the weeks that followed, Kaelan's bond with Elara deepened, blossoming into a friendship he had never anticipated. She introduced him to her friends, other children of the wealthy who lived in the mansion, all of them eager to spar with the new mysterious boy they had heard so much about. The first time they met, laughter filled the training grounds, as Elara's friends exchanged snickers at Kaelan's ragged appearance. "Look at him," one boy laughed, a blonde-haired youth with a mischievous grin. "Are you sure he's strong enough to fight us?" Kaelan felt anger flare up again, ignited by their ridicule. "You think I'm weak?" he shot back, clenching his fists. "Why don't you show us what you can do?" Another girl challenged, her voice dripping with condescension. Without a second thought, Kaelan stepped forward, his determination ignited. "Fine, let's see if you can handle me." Elara watched with wide eyes as the challenge was issued. "Wait, Kaelan, it's just practice." But he was already in position, ready to prove himself. The fight began, and the others quickly surrounded him, their laughter echoing in the air. With a swift motion, he dodged the first boy's attack, ducking under a wild swing and countering with a quick jab to the gut. The boy stumbled back, eyes wide with shock. "Not so weak after all," Kaelan shot back, adrenaline surging through him. The others regrouped, trying to coordinate their attacks, but Kaelan was relentless. He sidestepped, ducked, and weaved through their blows with newfound agility, fueled by Elara's encouragement echoing in his mind. "You can do this, Kaelan," she cheered, her voice a beacon of support amidst the chaos. Kaelan retaliated with a flurry of strikes, surprising them with his speed and tenacity. With each successful hit, their laughter faded, replaced by awe and admiration. He felt the rush of victory coursing through him as he disarmed another opponent, sending them sprawling to the ground. "Is that all you've got?" Kaelan taunted, exhilaration flooding his veins. The final challenger approached, determination etched on her face. With a fierce battle cry, she lunged at him, but Kaelan was ready. He pivoted, using her momentum against her and throwing her off balance. With a final push, he sent her tumbling to the ground, breathless and defeated. As the dust settled, Kaelan stood tall, chest heaving with exertion. The laughter had vanished, replaced by an air of respect. "You really are strong," the blonde boy admitted, extending a hand to Kaelan. "We underestimated you." Kaelan took his hand, a smile breaking through the remnants of his earlier frustration. "You should have known better." Elara beamed at him, pride shining in her eyes. "See, I told you you'd impress them." From that day forward, Kaelan gained real friends, companions who trained alongside him, sharing their own struggles and victories. They laughed together, sparred together, and in the process, he began to heal from the emotional wounds inflicted by his past. Kaelan discovered that friendship was not just a comfort, but a source of strength, an unbreakable bond that fueled his determination. As the sun set, casting a golden hue over the training grounds, Kaelan knew he was not just a slave anymore. He was part of something greater, and that alone sparked a new flame of hope within him. Teaser. In Chapter 4, Kaelan will confront the reality of his past and the rising expectations of his newfound friendships. As his training intensifies and the arena approaches, will he be able to withstand the pressure? Or will the shadows of doubt threaten to consume him once more?